Brown Thanksgiving that has offended many people for decades.
I don't know what many people for what decades this offended. I'ma play it. I'm just saying, man. Racism, yeah, it's here. You know, it's like it's the KKK. But bro, I still gotta go get this. You know what I'm saying?
Men's brains are in their cocks.
Oh man, they're gonna lynch you. Man, I still gotta get this money though, bro. What, I'm gonna leave the money on the table?
Away from the other classic characters. Here's how The Daily Show once reported the controversy.
They invited him, but look where they put him. He's by himself. Even the dog gets to sit with the kids.
Now that historic wrong from the 1973 Peanuts TV special is being righted. Franklin's own special, Welcome Home Franklin, just started streaming on Apple TV.
I still don't want an Apple phone, but like they always do, let's use racism and put the black man or the black woman in front to exploit your guilt for something you didn't have anything to do with. You're just reaping the rewards of.
What did you say, nigga?
I'm gonna play it, you bitch ass nigga. Goddamn.
That scene is where this whole project began. We all wanted to address it and finally deal directly with it.
See how it's two black dudes, one lighter, one darker? That's some other stuff the powers that be interjected to make the inmates keep an eye on other inmates so y'all don't break out of the prison. We're getting to the point. Let me just keep playing this corny shit.
This your beach ball?
The character of Franklin emerged from the turmoil of 1968.
Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
Weeks after Dr. King's assassination, Peanuts creator Charles Schulz introduced a black character at the suggestion of an elementary school teacher.
Really? At the suggestion of a teacher? I'm sure Charles Schulz is some level of Mason. They don't let you get that famous without being down with their program. But on a side note, speaking of that,
we are now living in the twilight zone. Today is a world where somebody like Sophie Rain makes more than professional models. We're talking about Adriana Lima, Kendall Jenner, Cara Levine. This explicit model made $43 million in a single year. I guarantee you so many women are going to try to get the same bag.
I don't even see anything wrong with them trying to get the bag, except you're going to be on the hamster wheel. The money for women, it doesn't do the same thing that it does for us guys. You can't buy the kind of attention that you want as a woman. But aside from all that, let's get back to this weird racism bullshit that's also a part of the programming.
Franklin became a small but impactful symbol of racial harmony. But this scene from the 1973 special is now viewed as a terrible slight.
Hey, Franklin! We saved you a seat over here. Come join us.
Finally, a half-century later, Franklin is taking his proper place at the table.
The reason I played that shit, the Peanuts are synonymous with the Christmas season. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing. And they're gonna pump that at us this season to get us all mushy-peed and misty-eyed over Satan Claus. I mean, buying things for your loved ones. Who the fuck is this Trayvon Martin looking ass nigga?
Who told y'all niggas to drop that new charger with the new phone, bro? Nobody asked for that. Niggas was okay with the old charger. Why do I have to ask a nigga and the nigga hands me a charger that's as big as my fucking thumb that won't fit inside my phone? Why are y'all doing this shit, bro? Yo, stick to the same shit, bro. You niggas is not making nothing new, bro. Bro, unless you niggas is making a new phone with like 10 cameras on the back, my nigga, and I'm getting super HD quality to see into the future, my nigga. Stop dropping this bullshit, bro. And stop adding new shit that niggas ain't asked for, bro.
Why you think they got rid of Steve Jobs? Apple was like, yo, Steve, we gonna keep giving these niggas the same thing over and over and over and make mad money. Steve was like, you shouldn't do that. I'm totally against it. They was like, all right, that's too heavy. That's too heavy. Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Gotta. See, just. Right. Just let it out, just. Right. Better? Okay. I'm here for you, bro. Let's continue.
Okay, so I know there's like a reasonable explanation for this, or it's like some fucking optical illusion, but this shit, if you were on some shit, this shit would scare you bad. You see, the sphere's so tiny, whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's
then,
not a big
the
deal.
Further you go back, like this shit gets bigger. And
Whoa.
it's coming at you. And like I'm telling you, if you go super, super, super far, like it just covers up the whole window.
My street niggas, they'd have thought the feds was in there. These paranoid ass niggas. Son, there's police in there, son. Son, I ain't fucking with out here, son.
And then you go close again and it gets all tiny, like I'm confused. I'm really confused. Like, isn't it like if you go further it gets smaller? Like, why does this shit keep growing? It looks like it's coming at you, like.
Maybe it's just one of those optical illusions, you know, like the planet being flat. I'm just saying maybe it's an optical illusion, nigga. God damn, maybe. Can it be maybe? Shit. Could you maybe be a bitch? It never can be that. There's always got to be something wrong with me.
These two metal spheres are being heated to different temperatures. Let's see what happens if we stick them in some water. All right, in they go. Well, the sphere at the lower temperature was immediately quenched by the water. But what the heck is going on with the hotter sphere? Well, when water contacts this extremely hot sphere, it boils so fast that a protective vapor film is formed. And this vapor layer keeps the liquid water from physically contacting the metal. Well, at least as long as the metal remains hot enough.
Could that be what's at the Earth's core? The liquid hot magma at the core spinning around? I don't know. I'm an old dude. It's for entertainment purposes only. Jesus Christ. Would you give me a break?
In 2019, a woman fell asleep during her flight, and when she woke up, found all of the other passengers were gone. And also the pilot was gone, and the flight crew. And the plane was dark and cold. It had been just a brief flight. She is flying from Quebec City to Toronto, but she dozed off during the flight, and when she woke up, it was after midnight, and the plane was on the ground and locked up. She tried to call a friend, but her phone was out of battery. It immediately died. She tried to charge it, but there was no power to the plane. Eventually, she got into the cockpit, found a flashlight, and by the light of that flashlight, figured out how to open the main door, only to find there was a 50-foot drop to the tarmac. And all of this was happening because the flight crew just didn't notice her sleeping in her seat. They got everybody else off the plane once they landed in Toronto. Then the flight crew got off. Then the pilot parked the plane and locked it up and went home. The woman, her name is Tiffany Adams, eventually was able to shine the flashlight out of a window and get the attention of a baggage handler who finally came to her rescue. Air Canada fully admitted this is what happened, and the only details we know about the aftermath is that they said they were working with her to make it up to her.
What if this happens more than we even realize? Haven't we all seen these TikToks where workers are on a plane late night and they see some ghosts? Maybe people have died on the plane, and those is what we're seeing in these TikToks where the plane looks like it's haunted. I don't know, nigga. Just trying to make the video exciting for you. I mean, come on, man. Work with me.
Dave makes $5 million a show. He doesn't need the money. His mother's a banker. His father's a stockbroker. And he's in the Foo Fighters. Why the does he have a Nirvana Inc. credit card? And last week he bought an Aston Martin on it. I don't care how much more popular they are. Because Dave knows that I know that he knows that I know that he knows that I know. Alright? So he didn't write one note. He didn't even write the drum riff in Smells Like Teen Spirit. Kurt owns 100% of that publishing.
And now we know why they got rid of Kurt Cobain.
Forget me, I make tons of money. My daughter, my mother-in-law, Kim Cobain, that's what I care about. Okay? Do you understand? So, Dave.
Operation what?
Operation Northwood. Okay, so the U.S. government was involved in several crazy conspiracies during the 50s and 60s. Operation Northwood is probably the craziest of all. 62, the CIA planned to stage terrorist attacks on American citizens and military targets in Miami and Washington and blame it on the Cuban government. Convinced the American public to wage war on Cuba.
Yeah.
Plan involved killing innocent people and soldiers, blowing up U.S. ships and Cuban refugee boats, hijacking airplanes, and planting phony evidence to implicate the Cuban government. Operation Northwood was authorized by the Joint Chiefs of Staff and presented to the Secretary of Defense, Robert McNamara, before President John F. Kennedy rejected it.
Dude, I've never heard about this.
Listen.
This is crazy.
You've never heard about that?
Man, get the fuck out of here, nigga!
That's like common knowledge, dude.
In the context of being in 2024, how crazy is it to stage terrorist attack, call that a false flag now, right?
Just
on
say it.
American citizens.
Just say it. Say the
military
words.
targets.
There's two numbers involved in it. Just say it.
9/11.
Yeah.
This is like the most depressing list ever, honestly.
The kids are loving this.
Yeah.
Hey kids, have you heard of 9/11? Guess who did it?
Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey has just announced that she plans on phasing out these centralized locations for housing migrants such as hotels, and is instead proposing a $2,100 a month budget for housing migrants in apartments scattered across the state.
I just want to know, Governor, when are y'all going to bring in these migrants?
Now, of course, this comes off the heels of Donald Trump winning the presidency with big plans of mass deportations across the country. Now, Governor Maura Healey and Boston Mayor Michelle Wu have both been extremely vocal against this and actually said they will do whatever they can to not cooperate with these actions. Now, the timing of all this has caused some people to believe that this is Governor Maura Healey's attempt to make it more difficult for Donald Trump to deport migrants in the state of Massachusetts. This crisis has caused Massachusetts to be in a state of emergency for over a year, and there's seemingly no end in sight.
Have y'all ever noticed that a guy can decline an invitation of going out because his girlfriend won't let him, and then everyone understands? But the second a girl declines an invitation because her man won't let her go out, everyone gets concerned?
Well, that could be because of this.
Story time, I was standing in a really unfortunate spot when a fight broke out, but we're taking it well, and I did go to the ER, and I'm fine.
Yeah, the unfortunate spot was in front of her boyfriend's fist. And while I do acknowledge that the same thing could happen to a guy being the recipient of a woman's fist, you're generally not shamed if you're a woman being hit by a guy. Stigma's a little different. But Kamala Harris is going to change that the next time she runs.
Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion. And I know this is an uncertain time. I'm clear-eyed about that. I know you're clear-eyed about it. And it feels heavy. And I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
I think this is terrible for young women. The election was over 3 weeks ago. She hasn't been seen or heard from. She comes out with this video instead of a message of like, all right, ladies, sometimes you don't win.
It is absurd. And the idea that she's boasting about the fact that they raised $1.5 billion, the window in which she spent it was basically about 100 days.
It's going on, about to be 72 hours of this being out, and I have yet to see a woman talk about it.
And you won't hear any women talk about it unless these women have dads in their lives. But again, that's a part of the programming, the CIA conspiracy, Gloria Steinem, that they didn't really do. That's not why it was done. Nonetheless, you won't hear about it. Maybe that's why there's a stigma if you get beat up by a girl and you're a guy. Interesting.
$1 for a 24-pack of Dasani water. Look at this. Nobody. That's crazy. $1. Who's buying that? Not me. Let's not forget, Dasani water has salt in it. And Coca-Cola makes Dasani water. Do you really want water from Coca-Cola? Purified water? I'm good. Spring water only. Some people's gonna be excited about this. $1 for 24 bottles of water? What if it's faucet water? TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. It's not faucet water.
What if it's toilet water? It's probably not. Why else would they sell you 18 of them for $1? It's probably delicious. You drink it first and tell me what it tastes like.
There's just a lot of water available and they're giving out deals. I'm good on that deal. Last time I can remember, they always sell this water at water parks. You know why? So you can keep getting more thirsty and you can keep buying more. And let's not forget they're $5 each. Nah, I'm just playing around, guys. You know what? I'm getting thirsty. I'm about to go drink some spring water.
Crazy. And you, just be a fucking non-coward. Just leave me.
I'm trying to.
Fairly. You don't want to be with me. I didn't cheat on you.
Okay.
I'm a fat fucking bitch, and you don't want to be with me because I'm fat.
Well, you said it. I mean, I'm just listening. I mean, hell, you're the one with the demon skeleton on your shirt, you tarot card wielding bitch.
Just admit it. I'm fat. I've gained weight, and you don't want to be with me.
You want to be with a fat boy?
You are fat, Coy. You're ugly. I thought you were ugly since I met you, Coy. I've never thought you were attractive. I've never thought you were attractive. I'm being honest with you. I told that to Brittany tonight. You're stupid. You can ask Brittany. Ask Brittany if I thought you were attractive. You're taping me.
Of course I am.
Yeah, you're fat, and you're telling me I'm fat. I'm fat. I've gained weight because of my illness, and I'm fat, and I'm not good enough to be with you because I'm fat. Nothing to do with it. My mother raised me, and Coy is my mother.
Even Satanism for a while.
Yes.
Why the fascination with that?
Because it was there.
That's not a good enough answer. That's like, why'd you stick the penis in your mouth? It was there. Why'd you stick your tongue in that child's booty hole? It was there.
Which sounds very much like, why do you climb Everest? And they say, because it's there, you know.
You could tell this was back in the days. Niggas don't talk like that anymore. They say much stupider things than this now.
I got involved with a group of my friends, and it was just really in those days, when I'm talking about late 60s, it was an excuse to get some more chicks, to do some more drugs.
They were fascinated by it.
And, hey, man, you had a covenant. Hey, let's go, we'll party. Instead of saying party, hey, we're having a meeting tonight, you know, ba-dum.
With men, it's always about getting more chicks. Ladies,
Men do not fall in love with your character, your personality at first. They will never. Men's brains are in their cocks.
I think when my dick honeys to come and brainwash me.
It wasn't really into the circumstances of what today's Satanism means. And there are 3 steps.
look how she like, really, nigga? Really? The devil was just there. And you was like, let's go get some chicks with the devil.
When the second step came and I realized that was a commitment and what the commitment meant, I said, nay, because the fun and games was over with and it was going into another sphere. I have great respect for things that I don't know about.
And that's why.
Why are you against people who go to theology schools?
Theology school, because they come out thinking they're a preacher. And if you look at the lessons they learn in theology school, look at the lessons that's in theology and compare it to the Bible. Theology school teach that Paul died at Nero's chopping block. Paul's death have never been in the Bible. Theology school teach Peter was crucified head down and feet up. No such death is recorded in the Bible. Theology school teach that John died 96 AD in a pot of boiling oil. John's date and how John died have never been in the Bible. Theology school teach there are 5 minor prophets and 5 major prophets. The Bible never addressed the prophets as major or minor. Theology teach there are 7 dispensations in the Bible: innocence, conscience, human government, grace, law, kingdom of age. The Bible have never been broken up into dispensations. Theology teach there are 3 separate and distinct persons in the Godhead. The Bible only teach in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead.
I was supposed to be a preacher. Y'all know my great-grandfather owned a church. He had 7 sons. 4 of his sons were preachers. My grandfather wasn't a preacher, but it was in the family way to be a preacher. Not that I didn't want to. I don't know. But I do know they said there was a demon in me. I don't think there's a demon in me, but that's what the elders thought. So what are you going to do?
AI steals 139,000 scripts. TV and film writers have just found out that over 100,000 scripts were used to train AI, and shit has hit the fan. The Atlantic has recently reported that over 139,000 scripts were used to train AI writing for tech companies. Showrunners spent much of the week typing their names into a search engine designed by the Atlantic's Alex Reisner. The search engine helped identify which scripts were actually being used by AI, and the results were horrifying. Reisner wrote in The Atlantic, "I can now say with absolute confidence that many AI systems have been trained on TV and film writers' work. Not just The Godfather and Alf, but more than 53,000 other movies and 85,000 other TV episodes."
Is that why ChatGPT sucks? They trained AI with all of the crappy shit that people give to Hollywood execs. I get it now.
Dialogue from all of it has included an AI training data set that has been used by Apple, Anthropic, Meta, NVIDIA, Salesforce, Bloomberg, and other companies. It includes writing from every film nominated for Best Picture from 1950 to 2016, and at least 616 episodes of The Simpsons, 170 episodes of Seinfeld, 45 episodes of Twin Peaks, and every episode of The Wire, The Sopranos, and Breaking Bad. If I was a writer, I would be livid. And if I was an entertainment attorney, my phone would be melting. Now, it's also worth noting that many of the copyrights of these films are actually owned by the studio. What do you think of AI using these scripts without the writer's permission?
AI can't do anything original. So you really shouldn't be worried about AI stealing your job, especially if you're a creative. Get from under the employee thumb and just be your own employer. It's harder, but they're going to show your shit to AI anyway. That's a little too heavy. I shouldn't have said that. That's too heavy. Yeah, let's lighten the mood. My bad. We'll lighten the mood. Feel that mood lightening. Right. See? Nice and easy. Loosen you right on up. Better? You need to move lighten for a little while longer? Okay, but just this once. Okay. Okay, yeah. You feel that? Yeah, let that stress go. Okay. You ready to continue? Okay, let's do it.
What's going on with that song, that Bruce Springsteen song, where he goes, hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone?
So disturbing.
You don't know what the song is?
No, I don't even know what the song is.
I mean, it's called I'm on Fire, but I mean, he was right. Those are the lyrics of that song.
That is very disturbing.
It's like songs we've heard.
We didn't know how wicked they were.
We obviously did not make the connections in our brain of like what these lyrics actually mean. But like another good example of it is like that George Michael song, Father Figure. I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. And you're like, wait, what? There's so many examples of songs like that. This is obviously demonic. This stuff's in there. They got catchy music to go along with it. And before you know it, people are humming along this song in their head, and it's like, this is dark. This is wicked. This is like the stuff. This is the industry that P. Diddy flourishes in.
Spells. There's spells being cast on people to normalize you to the occultic things that you don't even realize. Like Elvis is singing to freaking 12-year-olds, and he's saying little girl and like weird stuff in the song, and you're just like, this is what he meant by little girl, and you're just like,
she's 12, my nigga.
This is a whole nother level of disturbing.
So when Elvis and Priscilla Presley met in 1959, Elvis was 24 and Priscilla was 14.
Oh my gosh. See, that's what I'm saying.
Jerry Lee Lewis literally marries his 13-year-old cousin.
Wow.
You know, it's even another one that's funny. Well, it's not funny. It's funny how this was not a secret and we all kind of knew. And
are they going to retroactively cancel Elvis? Absolutely not. You know why? Because I don't know why. That's why I asked you know why. Leave it in the comments if you know why.
Growing up like R. Kelly in like Aaliyah. You know, they had this really weird relationship. I want to say we knew that there was a relationship between the two of them. And I think she might have been 15 at the time. And it was kind of almost like, I don't even know why it wasn't weirder.
It is what it is.
It was just kind of like, oh yeah, that's something that's happened. And then they got married. I think she was really young. I can't remember how. She was really young when they got married, but obviously they were together clearly before that. And
weird.
And then it's like, oh well, R. Kelly turns out to be some grade A creep. Oh, who could have seen that coming? I mean, everybody. It was like, it was not. It was again. It's like it's the same thing with like Harvey Weinstein and P. Diddy. It's like, oh, everyone's. I can't believe that. It's like everyone could believe that. Once again, it was one of these open secrets.
Watch this. They always tell you the truth in these movies. Pay attention. He goes to the water. Now he's going through a portal, a wormhole. And look where it leads him.
Right to P. Diddy's house. Goddamn portals.
Space.
Oh, not to P. Diddy's house. To space. Okay. My bad.
Now he's coming out. Water once again.
Alright y'all, so if you go back and watch my previous video, I briefly mentioned that I think there's a very high possibility that space is water. And before y'all think I'm crazy, hear me out. Let me explain. When the sun is out, the sky appears blue. When the sun shines into the water, it also appears blue. Then once the sun goes down, both the sky and the water appear like a dark blue to black color, right? I think the bottom of the ocean leads to space. The deeper you go in the ocean, the more it looks like space. You almost thought that was space, didn't you? Just like space, the deeper you go into the ocean, the darker it gets, the colder it gets, which in space that's confusing because the sun's supposed to be up there, so how's the sun beating us up and burning us up down here, but it's freezing in space? It makes no sense to me, but that's neither hither nor thither. But just like space, the deeper you go into the ocean, the more pressure there is as well. Hence why you need a sea suit. And look at the modern day sea suits. Looks very familiar, huh? It's just oddly similar to the spacesuit. Here we have a cruise ship or sea ship. Here we have a spaceship. Then there's the rocket ship. They're all called ships because they're all going through the water. Notice that we cannot classify an airplane as a ship because it's not flying through the waters that's above us and it's not soaring through the waters that's level with us, correct? We classify them as airplanes because they are flying flat in our Earth's local atmosphere. You can float very easily in water, just like you can float very easily in space. You can practically swim in space. Look at them. The same way you do in water. Astronauts even prepare in the water to go to space. There are even black holes in the ocean. They're actually called eddies, but they are very similar to the black holes we see in space. If something gets sucked into them, it's not getting out, and we don't know where it goes. And this also looks similar to whirlpools. Literally just edit some stars on there and it looks the exact same.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just realized I wasn't responding. That's because I'm looking at her face. She's got a pretty face. I would subscribe to her just because of her beauty.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
Okay. Ladies, say it with her.
Men's brains are in their cocks.
It's not all my fault. My wife has pressured me to go to the gym because she wants me to bring a girl like this into the house. Who do you think is sending me all of these juicy looking girls? It's like she's got a catalog. Here. She's cute. Ooh, her, she's juicy. Ooh, what do you think about this one? We be out driving, she'd be like, ooh, look at her right there. I like her. What do you think about her? I'd be like, yes, she's beautiful, darling.
What kind of shit is that?
Okay, I'm not exactly in a terrible situation, but I don't want to go to the gym. But I have to, because my wife don't want these single mother girls. She want a young, ripe 20-year-old. Actually, a couple of them. And I'm the bait. So, sorry, I'm a little stressed out a little bit. No, don't worry about me. That's my cross to bear.
Who's to say that these USOs, or chariots of God, aren't using these whirlpools and these black holes as portals to go to and from the heavens and the earth? And just like I showed you guys using that clip in the beginning of my video, who's to say that's not possible? You saw him go through the water, which took him through this tunnel or this portal or this black hole that took him all the way into space, and when he exited that portal, he went through water again. Who's to say that the black holes, the waters in the ocean, is not leading them to the waters that are found in the water reservoirs up in space that have way more water than the water found on our Earth? I mean, we truly don't know what's actually down there, because as of 2024, we've only explored approximately 5% of our world's ocean. That's 95% we haven't even touched. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, as above, so below. You got waters above and waters below. That's just how the world works.
This guy in North Carolina, he was leasing this giant warehouse, and FEMA had no place to put all their stuff. He's like, you can use part of my warehouse.
Voluntarily opens it up to them.
Being
a
rad guy. And so what they also put in there's pallets worth of prime drink, and apparently there's some ingredient that is not approved through FEMA. And then they went to the guy and said, since you have this in your warehouse, you no longer have a lease. We are apprehending your warehouse. And so he's kicked out of his own place for offering it. They put the prime in there, and they said, can't have that in there.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah, some would
Dude,
say.
this is sounding like William Wallace, prima nocta, medieval English garbage.
That's my warehouse, and I shall take her.
This is crazy.
You may take our warehouses. You may take our land. But you will never take our freedom!
You may take our prime.
You may take our prime.
Dude.
But as you're lying in your beds as an old age, would you not trade all of that?
All of those tomorrows.
Did the Brits do that to those guys? English people, leave that in my comments, because I'm not sure. They don't teach that over here. But I do know Harry Potter was an asshole to Ron Weasley. Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, join. Thank you